What's going on, Bulls fans? The Bulls take on the Atlanta Hawks in Atlanta. Can the Bulls get their third win in a row? The Bulls are riding a two-game winning streak, whereas the Atlanta Hawks are riding a two-game losing streak. Who comes out on top? Whose streak stops? Or do both of them continue? We're going to talk about it all and more right after this. What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this content today, y'all. The Chicago Bulls are taking on the Atlanta Hawks today, and this is going to be a very interesting matchup for both teams. The Bulls are fully healthy once again, with everybody being healthy besides Noah Essengay, so the Bulls will get to continue to see if this health thing for the Chicago Bulls actually does change anything for the team and the outlook of the squad. We get to see that. Now, do I believe that that's going to happen? We'll see what this team can do with it, man. Ultimately, I think it comes down to a few things for this Bulls team. A, of course, the energy. That's always what we're going to talk about with this Bulls team, the effort and energy. Do they give the necessary effort and energy to be able to be in a game like this, to stay in a game like this is the question. I don't know, and I'm going to be 100% honest. I have no idea what this team is going to look like game in and game out. That's part of the Chicago Bulls experience at this point in time. Like, you just never know exactly what this team is going to look like day in and day out. But I will say this, right? We've seen a lot better effort from the team consistently here as of late, and it still is an evaluation season. So no matter where you sit in this, right, whether you sit in the space where you hope that the Chicago Bulls continue losing for a draft pick, for a chance at some of the top picks in this draft, or you sit in a place right now where you want to see this team try to dig themselves out of it if and when they can. Either way, effort is the most important thing with that, because you cannot evaluate. The last thing that I want to give AK is an excuse. I don't want to give AK an excuse to say, hey, we weren't healthy for a large chunk of the roster, let's run it back. I don't want him to say that, right? So I want this team fully healthy. And, regardless of what that ends up coming after this, hey, you got to deal with the circumstances, right? You got to deal with the repercussions of it. So if the Bulls are fully healthy and they start winning, cool. If they're fully healthy and they start losing, great. We eliminate any and all questions on who this team is. And I think for a GM like AK that has had a history of holding on to players when they don't need to, you need that type of honest and true evaluation for this team. And we're going to see what we get out from the Chicago Bulls. This is an Atlanta Hawks team that has also been struggling over the last 10. 4-6 in their last 10. They've fallen a bit with the offensive efficiency and other numbers. Jalen Johnson is still averaging a near triple-double. He's basically only 2 assists away from averaging triple-double. He's leading the team in points, rebounds, and assists. So a lot comes down to what he's going to be able to do. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, a player that's never averaged more than 11 points per game in his career, is averaging 20 points per game for the Atlanta Hawks team while still giving solid defense. So this is a team that's going to have as many perimeter defenders as they can shake a leg at, and that's going to disrupt the Bulls. The Hawks are going to be trying to run a similar style defense to what the Miami Heat did against the Chicago Bulls in the play-in last year. So that means it's going to be important that we hit perimeter shots to keep them honest. It's going to be important that we keep moving without the ball to keep that zone defense from setting in. That's what we're going to have to do with this team. Activity, effort, execution. That's what we have to see from this team today, and we'll see if we can get it done. Hopefully we can. We got Donnie in the building, says, what's good, big bro? Let's go Bulls, and God forgive me. Let's go Aaron Rodgers. That sucks, bro. Having to root for Aaron Rodgers, bro, I almost would rather have to give a left testicle to somebody. Like, that's crazy, man. Good afternoon, Art. Glad to have you in the building. My brother Corn is in the building. What's going on, Corn? I'm on the fence as to whether to hope for a high pick or not. The rest of this month or so will say a lot. As you said, got to see everyone healthy. Yeah, I mean, that's just what it comes down to. I just want to see what this team looks like fully healthy so we can just know. Like, at this point, we can eliminate any and all questions about it. Like, If like I said, if they lose and healthy, cool. Then we know that they suck. If they win and they're healthy, you got some tough decisions to make. But like you said, just eliminate the health concern so we can have an honest evaluation of this team. Now, the question then becomes about, do we trust AK's evaluation? It's a whole different problem, but, it's a problem to have when it comes down to it. Hello, Haize. Hoping to see Buzelis capitalize from last game. Hey, if he can catch some momentum, let him do it. Shout out to Jamal for joining the members here at the C-Red level. We appreciate you, Jamal. Great show. Keep it up, bro. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Hopefully keep enjoying the content here. On this, it's so weird that we got a Bulls game on a Sunday and no Bears game. It's just my equilibrium is off because the Bulls play today. Completely play today. It's completely off, man. I just don't know how to feel about it. No LOL. No about what? Oh, AK's evaluation. Yeah, I feel that. Forrest Phillips in the building said, what's going on, Forrest? Hey, bro, how's your cousin feeling, man? I know that he's kind of falling out of the rotation, man. Not kind of. He's falling out of the rotation. I hope he's in good spirits, man. I really hope he is. He's going to get another opportunity. I really do feel Julian's going to get another opportunity. Absolutely, King Drip. Big fact. It's crazy how it's becoming an evaluation year. I mean, yeah, that's where we are right now. It is about the evaluation that's done. And then what you got to decide on that and how you want to proceed. With what findings you get in that evaluation, how do you want to proceed after that? That's what it's all about. Haize, I hope you had a good afternoon. I want a win, but I also, if they give effort and lose, loose. First of all, he said loose. They getting loose out there? Get loose with it. Get loose with it. Like Too Short said, Bruce hit it. I'll take it. Growth comes in many directions. That's a fact. Growth isn't always linear, right? Like we like to think, and of course we like to see a team that's just steady on the incline, right? But growth isn't always linear. So, we'll see what we have with that one. Hello, what's going on, Grimes? LOL, I can tell you off air, bro. Well, hit my email. Leave your number if you want me to hit you up that way, or you can just email me. It's just bullcentralpod@gmail.com. I'm the only one in the inbox. Nobody else has access to the inbox, so you ain't got to worry about it. Nobody else has access to that email at all. Bears got a win yesterday. F the Packers. Let's get this win, Bulls. Let's get it. Let's get it. Right? I can't get football off my brain. Hard not to think about it. I mean, that game last night was crazy. I knew the game was over with. I'm not even going to front. I knew the game was over with. I can't believe we pulled that game out. I literally cannot believe we pulled that game out at all. I can't believe it. If we're healthy, what kind of winning do you expect, or what is B it supposed to look like? What is it supposed to look like? I don't know, bro. Like I really don't know. Like, here's the thing. I know we started off 5-0, but we started off 5-0 without Kobe, without Zach Collins. And I think we've already seen how Kobe's out there in the starting lineup has really changed how Isaac Okoro needs to play, right? Like, Isaac doesn't have to be just at the three-point line as much with Kobe White out there, and we're seeing Isaac kind of slash and do those things a little bit more. So, I mean, I don't have really expectations. I'm more so an evaluation myself. Like, when I think of the word expectation, I think like, oh, well, if they're healthy, I expect them to be 5 games above 500. I just don't have that, like, because I don't know. But I will say this, like, I just want to see the team compete. I think if this team gives fight in every game, they can be in a lot of these games. I'm not saying that they're going to be able to win all of them, but they can be in a lot of those games if they do those things. That's a bet. I appreciate you, brother. Early game today. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Let's get it out the way. Let's see what we're going to bring. See what the Atlanta Hawks are going to do with it. And we'll see, man. That's all I can say. Like, the Bulls aren't at a spot or a place where they can take anybody lightly. They just can't take anybody lightly. They aren't in a spot or a place they can take any nights off. They can't afford not to give effort every single game. They just can't do that. So, when you talk about those things and those aspects of this for this Bulls team, it really just means that they have to lock in, truly lock in. And like I said, that locking in doesn't necessarily mean that I expect them to win just because they're locking in, but it will eliminate, all right, what do we need? And I think even this, if you need to give 120% effort to just win 40 games, I think that even tells you a lot, right? Even if they do get above that place. So, we'll see. Do you like these early games? Feels wrong to me. I mean, I guess for me, it doesn't feel too off because I'd be covering football at this point in time anyway. What's weird to me is, like, at times when there's, like, which it's more a WNBA thing than NBA thing now, where it's like a Wednesday game at like 4 p.m. It's like, what the fuck are we doing? That's what throws me off. These early basketball games, it doesn't really throw me off too much just because I'm a football fan, so I know how that goes. I think that Isaac Okoro is be off the bench playing with Io, Trey Jones, P. Will. That's a pretty good defense. But who starts then? Who are you saying that you would start then, Corn? If you're saying move Isaac Okoro to the bench, who starts? And then keep in mind, P. Will played 5 minutes last game. So if you move Isaac Okoro to the bench, P. Will's probably definitely not playing anymore. Can you see us having another 38-40 win this season if stay all healthy? I mean, anything's possible. I mean, like the Bulls, I get it that we fell behind 500. We're still 3 games below 500, but it's the Eastern Conference. There's a lot of time left, so we'll see. AK is not a good evaluator of talent or big move maker to change the narrative for the Bulls team, including head coach. I got to disagree there. Io, amazing pick. Modest was the right pick. And people like to say, oh, when Modest fell, it was a clear pick. It was not. Keep in mind, that was not a position the Bulls necessarily needed to fill. They could have gone a different spot. They got Modest Buzelis. A lot of coaches passed on Modest Buzelis. So they still get credit for drafting him. Really where I think it comes down to, like, P. Will was a miss, no doubt about it. But that whole draft, when you go back and look at it, most of the best players in that draft came so much later than what they should have. Julian Phillips was a second-round pick. Dalen Terry was a late first-round pick. Now, Walker Kessler was right there, right? So I'll say this, like, there's of course I think more that you can point to that he didn't evaluate well, but I think there's more than people give him credit where he did evaluate. And people say that he's not good at making big moves. In the offseason where you got DeMar DeRozan, Lonzo Ball, and Alex Caruso, where you technically had no cap space, you got DeMar for a first and Al-Farouq Aminu, who you eventually got your first-round pick back. So, listen, AK has made moves. I think that team suffered from Lonzo going down for as long as he went down. Was definitely hurting that team. But I think we'd be looking, if Lonzo never gets hurt, I think we would be looking at this team a lot different. I'm not saying we would be title contenders, but I definitely think we probably would have had over the last 3 or 4 years at least 1 or 2 seasons where we're top 5 to 6 in the East. And I definitely think that. So, you know, it is what it is. Things fall apart. He didn't pivot quickly enough from that. And that left you to where you are. I've seen Hawks fans stressing about Ricochet not meeting expectations. Where do you think he'd be drafted right now? Ooh, I'd have to look at the draft list. I'm not gonna bog down this live stream to talk about that. But I definitely don't think Ricochet would probably. I don't think he'd be top 3. And that's just off the top of my head. And honestly, like I need to do a proper evaluation of that draft board. But off the top of my head, I don't feel like he would have been top 3. Did you see? Yeah, I saw that. Great move by the Sox. We know what this team is. The only thing I think we can evaluate is Billy. And no, we don't know what this team is. This team hasn't been together long enough to know what this team is. Like, let's just be honest with you. After Zach LaVine left, they played, 25 games, 27 games, something like that. And then we've had this season where most of the roster has been unhealthy for a large part of it. Like, we have been unhealthy way more than we've been healthy. I don't think we can fairly say what this team is going to be yet. Because even when Josh Giddey and Kobe were cooking last year, Io wasn't there. It wasn't there. Modest Buzelis is a slightly different player than what he was last year. We didn't have Isaac Okoro last year. Vooch is falling off a cliff, and I think Jalen Smith is better than what he was last year. So I don't think we can fairly say we know who this team is yet because we haven't seen them play long enough. By the way, I noticed that the Bulls is straight. Actually, since you straightened it, we've been winning again. That's crazy. That's funny. Herter should start over Okoro. What about defense in that starting lineup, though? You need some defense in that starting lineup. Kevin Herter would be my starter, but I understand where you're coming from. Listen, I mean, if you're thinking about just putting the 5 best players out, I think then if you're just talking about 5 best, I think Io over Kevin Herter. But I get it. What you're saying is like provide some spacing, but I do think Okoro's doing more defensively than people are giving credit for. Okoro's doing the things that don't show up on the stat sheet at all. And you have to really go and look at some analytics to really kind of see. But I get where you're coming from. Like I'm not trying to knock you on that one. Hi, bro. Happy to catch you live here from Dubai. The game starts at 12:30 a.m. Probably the first time I watch a Bulls before sleeping or waking up early. That's crazy. Well, shout out to you for supporting us, bro. Io versus Trey again. I don't know how much we're going to see because I think Io's still going to be on a minutes restriction. So you're probably going to see more Trey Jones on Trey Young. A Trey on Trey violence. We're going to get some Trey on Trey violence in this game. I never watched Noah in college. He was a beast because he was a high draft pick this year. Noah didn't play in college, Jeremy. Like, oh my God, Jeremy. You could at least research a little bit, bro. A little bit. That's crazy. I see what you're saying. That's he's done some good stuff, but he misses he's had with trade drafts and signings just speaks to how ass he is. I mean, what trades? He didn't make trades. Like I can't say that he didn't make an like let's evaluate AK's trades. Let's just have an honest evaluation in it. Because I don't know if he made an ass trade to me. You traded Zach LaVine at a time period where everybody in the NBA knew he had no value. We would not have had Noah Essengay if it wasn't for us trading that pick back. Now, we don't know exactly what Noah's going to be, but I'll tell you what, it's better than having no pick at all. So let's just say that. If you didn't, AK made the best of a bad situation. You had no ability. Nobody wanted Zach LaVine. The Kings are dealing with that now. And you wound up with your own first-round pick back. And you got Kevin Huerter, Trey Jones, and Zach Collins out of it. And they are absolutely playing big dividends for the Bulls. So that's not an ass trade. Maybe it's an ass trade for people who think you can only trade and get a star back, but like functionally, it was a good trade. Was it a great trade? No, but it definitely wasn't an ass trade. DeMar DeRozan was a free agent. You got a sign and trade for DeMar DeRozan back where you got something back at all. I give you credit for that. Keep in mind, the second round picks that we got back for DeMar ended up going to the Zach LaVine trade. So that was that. The Josh Giddey for Alex Caruso trade, not an ass trade. That's not bad. You can say it wasn't amazing, but Alex Caruso isn't an amazing value trade player. He's good, and he helped the Thunder win a title, but, it is what it is there. All right, let's talk about other trades that he made. Lonzo Ball for Isaac Okoro. That's basically a wash. Wasn't a great trade, wasn't a bad trade, but it wasn't ass either. Now, passing up on not getting 2 second-round picks for Drum, okay. That's definitely, especially when you let him walk to the team that offer you 2 seconds. There you go on that one. Not taking the Lonzo Ball trade for the first that became Cedric Howard. Yeah, you missed on that, right? But then you ended up trading him. It was a wash, or you stayed the same. I'm just saying, like, when people say that AK's made ass trades, he hasn't made an ass trade unless your expectations were too high. Zach LaVine had no trade value. DeMar DeRozan was an unrestricted free agent. You're lucky to get anything back in that case. Where's the ass trade at? Now, the draft evaluation, we just talked about that. P. Will was an ass pick, but P. Will was moving up a lot of draft boards at that point in time. It was still an ass pick. Dalen Terry was a miss. Absolute miss by Dalen Terry. You should have drafted Walker Kessler. It makes no sense why you didn't draft Walker Kessler. But yeah, I'm just saying. Looking for Modest to have big game today if he stay away from too many three-point shots. Absolutely. Absolutely. Dalen looked good when he is aggressive and attacks the rim. I mean, Dalen aggressive. When you can get Dalen out in transition, Dalen does look good. Absolutely. Honestly, because I'm not completely confident in AK's picks, that's partially why I'm sometimes hope we finish low enough to secure a top 6 pick. In a strong draft, that's harder to mess up. True, but if you're bad at evaluation, you're bad at evaluation. Look, I would not be surprised if the Bulls pick in the top 6 and they're the only one in the top 6 that gets a bust. Would not be surprised with that one. It's like Bulls are allergic to 7-footers. I can feel that, but like, okay, you draft a 7-footer. If you draft a 7-footer that sucks, what's that really do for you? Where does Bazilis go in the redraft? I think top 3. And again, that's off the top of my head. I don't have everything right in front of me, so that's in the top 3. The minutes will be based on analytical matchups versus each opponent, but also if someone is playing well, and then they should get more minutes, and no one plays well, try anybody. I feel that. I can't blame you on that. Hope we can just win in a dominating fashion. I can't handle a close game after last night's Bears game. Hey, you might as well get used to it, bro. It's probably going to be a close game. Ayo Dosunmu wasn't the right pick in the round 2. Modest Buzelis wasn't the right pick at where we drafted him at, considering he's better than a lot of. Again, y'all got to – I get it. I'm not saying don't be down on certain things, but y'all can't act like everything's been asked. I'm sorry. I'm too analytical to act like everything's been asked for the Bulls because it just has not been. It hasn't been. Maybe they were drafting so many guards because they were looking for a point guard like Josh. Now they have Josh, and maybe they'll draft better. Maybe. AK hasn't made a big trade move yet, and he missed on the Drummond trade. I'm sorry, 2 second-round picks isn't a huge miss. I'm just going to be honest with you. It sucks not to be able to stack those assets, but that's not a huge miss. It's just not. Especially when you look at the way AK uses seconds. Oh, and then, again, Lachlan Albrick in the second round. Look at what Lachlan's like. Now, second rounds usually don't make the NBA, but look at what he's doing in the G League right now. AK hit and miss. He passed on Zach to the Knicks, like Alex Caruso for multiple firsts and the first for Lonzo. And I gave you that. I'll give you that for sure. I like our bench better than our starters. Oh, okay, Jeremy. I sent you an email with my number. All right, I got you as soon as when I'm off this live, bro. The last Rookie of the Year Chicago Bulls had was Derrick Rose in 2009. Wow, you act like Rookie of the Years come all the time. Like, they don't. Like, you're not going to get a lot of Rookie of the Years from the same team. Like, you shouldn't, because typically if you have that, that means you're building towards something good. I think the Bulls should start trading the unks for draft stock. There's a lot of people that agree with you for that. There are a lot of people that will agree with you on that note. So, hey, take that for what you will. But all right, y'all, going to get ready to wrap it up. I'll be back live for the game. Make sure you guys are following us at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. And lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Love you guys. Go Bulls.